I think there's a lot of people in left spaces that are way too emotionally unhinged at times, where they think everything is racism, everything is sexism, everything is chauvinism. I can assure you that Zionism, and especially Jewish Zionism, is as bigoted and as racist and as supremacist as any ideology in the history of the world. They believe that they are the chosen people, and that by that definition, they can do whatever they want, that they are all kings and queens among men, women, and children, and that they can get away with anything, including committing genocide in broad daylight against people that they believe that they are ethnically, racially, religiously, and socially superior to. That's what they believe. And so even though these kids are being mass murdered every day, and we are helping facilitate it, it's perfectly acceptable as a means to an end for their ideology, of which it is psychopathic beyond words. Now, the reason I believe that the Jewish Zionists are more dangerous than the Christian Zionists is because the Christian Zionists, with all due respect, are a bunch of sheep. These are people that are taught from very early on by their churches. You see, the people that are in Christian Zionism that are really dangerous are people like John Hagee and Kenneth Copeland and Pat Robertson. These are all false prophets leading the sheep to the slaughter. They have created this world to make them believe that we must protect Israel at all costs, whereas Jewish Zionists actually believe in this chosen people supremacist ideology, and a lot of it, of course, is class-based, as we know. So when you look at the people in the Jewish community that identify as Zionists, almost universally across the board, I mean, maybe there's exceptions here and there, but universally across the board, these are people that live extremely comfortable lives. They do not know the meaning of the word struggle. They have never experienced it, and nor would they ever. These are the people that like to claim that they are socially progressive, but they are the definition of NIMBYs. They would never allow anybody in their backyard that they don't think is worthy. Now, they may feign that they're okay with this in somebody else's neighborhood. That's perfectly fine. You come into our neighborhood, we've got a real problem. That's why the overwhelming majority of affluent Zionists, they all live together. Norman Finkelstein talks about it all the time. There's a reason they live on the Upper East Side, because that's their neighborhood. They own it, like almost wholly. And we're talking probably 1 million people. It's a big deal. And that's where all the concentrated wealth and power is coming from. A very small section of this entire nation gets to decide how everything is done. And so when a Palestinian father has to cradle his 2 children that are dead because we're helping this happen, and someone can look at that and not say, how in the flying fuck are we okay with this? Those are people that, as Jen likes to say, needs to be lanced off like a boil, like this gentleman said that Jen sent me a clip of earlier this afternoon.
It's crazy to see the arrogance of these Israelis, these Zionists. Absolutely. You're still seeing posts all over the place of these people still shouting that Israel is great and shouting that they have the right to do this and defending Israel and this and that, and proudly proclaiming they're Zionists. Like, Israel's finished. I think all reasonable people know that. The only question is how many Palestinians they slaughter on the way out. But
right there, that's the point. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. It's going to happen. And this guy is Irish.
Can we put the link to his? Because I would have, if I knew you were putting it, I would have put the link to it in our.
Well, if you have the link that I sent you earlier to this clip, if you want to drop it in the description after we finish our live, that would be great.
He's somebody that I follow on Instagram, and I believe he's
super Irish. He's like Old Murphy or something.
Yeah,
like that.
But I believe he lives or is currently residing in Egypt. He lives somewhere in the vicinity of Africa or West Asia. He's somewhere in that vicinity.
Yes. Thank you very much. Okay, so that is his Instagram link, and it will be in the description, so look out for that.
Yeah, he's just great. He's got some really great points. Yeah.
They're finished. The world knows like how disgusting the atrocities of Israel are right now, and these people are going to become pariahs all over the world. The country is economically broke, and the war with Iran's not over. There's more to come. But the reality is that this arrogance makes me think there's no fixing these people.
Yes.
There really isn't. And this is a big problem that we're going to have to start thinking about.
Yes.
We probably should start thinking about it now before we get there, because we can't become moral monsters either, right? We're fighting.
It's very hard not to be.
I know. This is why I like him so much. He really explains my thoughts on this well. But yeah, this is exactly.
But if it were up to me, I would knock the shit out of all Zionists in the United States. I'd kick them all out of the country. I don't want them here. And you can take whoever doesn't like art, because you know what ends up happening, Jen, when channels start to grow. You know what ends up happening?
What?
We're now going to get clipped by other small, shit posters that are going to point out that we said things like this.
I don't care.
Clip it, share it, do whatever you want.
What is it we're saying? What do you think they're going to clip? What did they? What?
That I am saying this now from the rooftops. Nakba the Zionists out of the United States.
They need to go away. All right. Yeah, I actually no, he's making these points, but I would suggest that's one of many reasons why I don't want to be in South Florida. We are one of those landing pads for these Nazis. They're coming here. And I've been saying it for a long time. If people want to know what our real immigration problem is, it's Israelis. Okay. I don't honestly, and again, you guys know, I don't even really believe in borders. I'm like everyone's welcome here. Not people that support genocide. I think that people that support genocide can rightfully be excluded from our party. Like, this is our party, and we don't need to invite people that are pro-genocide to our party. And that is, to me, the one group of people that we should be able to keep out, like, just based on principle. But yeah, this
moral
guy's
monsters. We can't become moral monsters, but what are we going to do with these people? There's, 9 million of them over there? 90% of them are exactly like Benjamin Netanyahu. Every survey they take, they are okay with what's going on in Gaza. They think ethnic cleansing is okay. They think the children should be killed. This is the kind of thing that they think. They actually think this. They're out there chanting death to Arabs while the West is screaming about how bad it is to say death to the IDF. And the IDF is killing 100 people a day. There's no fixing these people. So what are we going to do with them?
That's my problem. That's what I've been saying, because I don't want them near me.
I don't want
to live near them. That's one of the reasons I need to get out of South Florida. And it was like that long before, 2023. Like, these people need to be like, I don't know. Maybe Argentina wants Nazis again. They seem to do well with them the first time. Maybe they want another batch. I mean, I don't know. Where should they go?
I think the only thing that they're really concerned about is how much economic infrastructure they bring, which of course is something that is always on the lookout. And yeah, they do have money, they have influence. And look, we're not going to, we're not going to genocide them, because that's not, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. But I got to tell you.
No, I think we should give them South Florida. I think they really should, honestly. And I do feel bad for certain people that can't get out of here. But at the end of the day, this will be underwater. And so if that's where the majority of them are,
I'm the last one holding the bag.
Right. Let them be the last people here that can't unload property because nobody will buy it.